back to the Birdhouse Dynasty Show and our Week 15 heater. We're talking playoffs. It's the Week 15 playoff show. As always, I'm joined by Matt English. Matt, how we doing today?
Doing well. I got beautiful weather. I know you don't, but I got beautiful weather, and the fantasy playoffs have started. So, always good.
Yes, we got dumped on, well, just a couple of inches of snow last night unexpectedly, but tonight we're going to have a little bit more, but that's all right. I can still get my waivers in if I need them. I got enough buys this week that I'm okay there. But how are your playoff squads looking? You ready to roll? You make it with everybody that you had hoped to make it?
Well, pretty much. Pretty much. I have one team. I knew I was mathematically eliminated going into the final week. So, got a lot of work done. Sold off a lot of pieces, and ready to move into the off season in a retool. So
There you go.
see what kind of magic we can make with all those moves that I just made. So, but yeah, pretty
Yeah,
good,
all right.
man. Pretty good.
Well, we'll get into the dynasty strategy in a moment and discuss some playoff matchups with big fantasy player implications
Very
in a
nice.
minute. But let's get things started off with the heater, the hot players of the week, and we're gonna fire it up with your favorite son, Sanders. Here we go. So, Shedeur, over 300 yards, three passing touchdowns, added a rushing touchdown. This guy, I don't even know what to think. Okay, for one, I literally own him in 0 leagues, okay, across all formats. Uh, but he is He is polarizing. He is half of the leagues like him, half of the people in the your leagues don't. And so, what are we doing here with Sanders? His value is obviously rising, Matt. He's
Yeah.
up to, I think, QB 25 ish in value on KTC. What are your thoughts here on Shedeur following his big fantasy performance? Mind you, he still lost to Cam Ward, but yeah, Matt,
Well,
fire away. I know you love this guy.
ah, yeah, so much. I, I I will add they were in position to win the game. Kind of a weird play call at the end. Um, However, yeah, I'm not high on Shador. I'm not. Yeah, he has some great moments and stuff, but I just think it's with a quarterback. It's always more than just the stats they put up. It's how they help direct the team. How does the team respond to them? And I really don't know what to think here. I mean, I actually have the opportunity to pick him up off waivers in a super flex redraft league, and I can't make the decision. I can't do it. I just
Well,
don't want it to.
who's your other option? Philiprivers,
No, that's a good question. I know it's a young
Riley
guy.
Leonard,
Would you say?
Riley Leonard.
Well, yeah, he's available. There's no doubts there. Let's see here. There's Tyler Shook. I remember he's available. J.J. McCarthy.
Ooh.
That's pretty much it as far as relevance there.
Well,
But
McCarthy, and we'll get into these matchups for Week 15 in a
and this,
moment. But
yes,
McCarthy
this,
takes on the Cowboys this Sunday night.
yes,
Juicy matchup down in Big D. So I wouldn't mind playing McCarthy there for
yeah. So
sure.
this is what it gets into, right? Well, one, it's three super young quarterbacks. We'll just say it's their rookie, all three of their rookie years, because JJ was out all of last year, right? But Tyler Shook, JJ McCarthy, and Shadur Sanders. I think that's a perfect segue for us here in a little bit to discuss the importance of the matchups here in the fantasy playoffs.
Yes.
More so
Well,
than any
okay,
other
we'll put
week
it
because
this
it's win or
way.
go home.
Who of those three, McCarthy, Shook, or Shedeur, which one do you trust most for plugging into your lineup? If you had Daniel Jones as your starter, and you got to pick one of those three up off the waivers to throw into your lineup to save your season this week, you've got Shedeur-Sanders at Chicago, McCarthy at Dallas Sunday night, and Shook is playing at home against the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Who are
on the
you
matchups.
firing up?
Best matchup on the paper is at Dallas, right? Because it's not going to be affected by the weather. It's a night game. It's domed. Dallas defense throughout the year has been pretty bad, but
But it's gotten
they
better.
have gotten so much better in the last 2 weeks.
That said, they just gave up 44.
Yeah, I get that.
It
I don't
was
know,
Detroit.
man. That's tough. My brain tells me to just go JJ McCarthy first, then Shook, then Shedeur. I just don't have any trust for Shedeur, and it is at Chicago. Weather's going to be an issue there. I don't know. I really don't know. I can't trust it. I can't trust it.
Yeah, so Shedeur, for me, it was totally game script dependent. Like, they were getting beat down by the Tennessee Titans, okay? They're somewhat good defense, Cleveland, gave up 160 yards to Tony Pollard and 2 long touchdowns.
When's the last time he's gone over 100?
The,
The beginning of
Dallas?
last year?
Dallas? So I do not trust this from Shedeur. And looking forward here with the Cleveland Browns and their quarterback situation for Shedeur's dynasty value purposes, right? So he's got a 4-game audition here now to lead the squad into 2026, right? He's supplanted Dylan Gabriel, right? Gabriel went down with the concussion and got Wally pipped here, I guess. Yeah. Do you want to call that it? Just because of one game here in a loss by Shedeur? But Stefanski named him the starter the rest of the season, so we get to see the circus for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Deshaun Watson.
Stefanski, who I don't believe really cares for Sanders being the quarterback of his team. I don't think he wants him on the roster at all. So
yeah, but I don't think he has a choice.
Yeah, I think it's ownership driven, but you give him the rest of the season and see what happens. If he is what you think he is, then you should have enough evidence there to move elsewhere, right? But
yes,
if he turns out and finishes the season wonderfully, win or lose, well, maybe they got their quarterback. Or at the very
right,
worst,
and he's not getting any more. Stefanski's not getting anywhere with Dylan Gabriel, right? I mean, right. Stefanski's still kind of fighting for his job here because they could fire him at the end of the season,
right? If
they don't win. So he's got to bet on the guy that he thinks is giving him the best chance to win. So even if he doesn't like Shedeur, the fact is he needs to win a game or two at least so Stefanski can be there next year. Now, I don't know that he really wants to be in Cleveland, but that's where he is. And what it comes down to is if the Browns don't win any more games this year, they're going to be picking in the top 5, very likely. Okay, they are at 3 wins. There's 3 teams below. I think they're tied with 4 teams at 3 wins. Mm-hmm. And there's 3 teams below them: the Giants, the Raiders, and the I'm forgetting one that have just 2 wins. The Giants, the
Saints. No, the Saints have 3.
Saints have 3 now.
The Cardinals,
and the Titans.
No. Titans, yeah.
Titans, Raiders, and Giants are at 2. So But a lot of these teams, a lot of these squads, they play each other yet. So we got some interesting matchups with the number one pick on the line here.
Yep.
Who wants to play worse? So definitely some schematics going on there. But as far as Shedeur goes, I don't think that anybody is doing a whole lot of trading him right now because like I said earlier, I think there's two camps in just about every one of our leagues, right? Either you like them or you don't.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's trading him away for a third right now, right?
Right.
And I mean, are you paying an early second for Shedeur?
God no. God no. Because we don't know what
Right?
next year is. We don't know you don't know what it is. I mean, you'll have clarity by the time the season's over when you're probably going to be making the move anyway at this point with no trade with trade deadlines gone. I'm sure there's some leagues that don't have a trade deadline. You and I are in a couple of those, and
Yeah.
so there is still some movement there. I mean, I wouldn't be. I mean, maybe if I could get him for like if I'm sitting on what I consider to be a later third or a fourth,
Yeah, nobody's
maybe
giving
at
him
that
away for
point,
that.
I take it in a
You gotta
rebuild.
best case is you maybe somehow somebody will give him to for a late second. Your
All right, here's
playoff
an idea.
second.
Like, I'll give you Kirk Cousins, and I'll take Shedeur. Okay, because chances are Kirk Cousins came off waivers, so there's no real investment there for me from a cost perspective. So sure, I'll take Shedeur off of a waiver, and if he hits, wonderful. If he doesn't, who gives a shit? I mean, really,
Yeah.
that I
Right.
could do, but it's harder for me to give up the draft capital that I know is. I just no. I'd rather keep the capital if I can.
Yes. So we're off on Shedeur and
I
not
am.
not yeah, I'm not looking high on him. I mean, there's other guys in the same range that I'd be taking in a startup over him next year. So that's kind of where I'm at. Next hot guy though. Let's move on. We
Yeah, yeah.
we
Too
we,
much
we
time
talked
spent on
about
this
Dion's
clown. Let's
kid
go.
enough here. All right. Now somebody that I don't see how you can't like right now. That's Michael Wilson,
Yeah.
wide receiver, Arizona. I mean, can Marvin Harrison just sit out the rest of the season here? I mean, as long as I'm not playing against him, I don't care. But I lost one of my leagues, a big league, 16-man league. We had our playoff start last week, and I was one of the top 5 point getters, and I lost because of this guy. And what can you say? I mean, almost 40 points he had in that league on me. This is 3 matchups now with over 10 catches and 100 yards, all in Marvin Harrison's absence. Is it for real? Like, if
So
you're
let me
a
go ahead.
rebuilder in a league that still does trades, are you just giving them away for a second now?
Uh, I wouldn't be giving him away because I think he's productive for you for the rest of the year. I think if you have him,
But if you're
um,
rebuilding,
if you're rebuilding and have him, I just hold him. I just hold him because I think this sends a wonderful message to Arizona. They have changed Kyler Murray out, put in Jacoby Brissett, who's not going to outright win you games, but he's not going to lose them for you entirely, right? But he operates like
well,
a normal quarterback. He goes through his progressions, he gets the ball out. He doesn't hyper focus on one guy. And you're seeing Michael Wilson, playing with a normal quarterback. He's producing. Greg
yeah,
Dortch
I
was
mean,
producing. Trey McBride still produced. They got tons of talent there in Arizona. They just had a quarterback problem.
yeah, but let's be real here. I mean, how many games has Brissett won? Right? He beat the Cowboys, right? Now, since then, he's produced, yes, in garbage time. Like all of these stats are garbage numbers. They did have the Tampa game was close. That was 20-17. But all these other games, the Rams, I'm trying to think who blew them out a couple of weeks ago. But you know what I'm saying? They're all garbage time. The Niners blew them out too.
Well,
That said, though, to your point, he has looked better than Kyler Murray running an offense. Like, I don't know that they would have done any better. They may or may not have beaten the Cowboys with Kyler. Probably not the way the offense was running. And I do agree that the offense has been opened up by Brissett actually being able to go through progressions and deliver the ball. So,
well, I also think it makes things interesting for Arizona and looking at their receiver room. Some of the pieces that can stay, some of the pieces that can go. You now know that some of these pieces that might have been cut or traded off, maybe you actually have something here if we can put a better quarterback behind the line behind center than what we have been doing over the last few years. I personally think Kyler's cooked. Sure, his value will go up a little bit when he goes somewhere else, but you're going to get the same thing. I just don't think he's interested in football. Yeah.
Right. And the Cardinals are one of those teams, just like the Browns, sitting at 3 wins. And so do they end up with a top 5 pick? What do they do with that top 5 pick? Is Jonathan Gannon gone at the end of this season with Kyler Murray out the door? Lots of questions there for Arizona yet in this offseason. But I do believe I'm leaning, if I had to gamble on it right now, I would think that Brissett opens the season as your week 1 starter in Arizona, and you draft a quarterback to, just use Brissett as a bridge quarterback, grab a guy in the 2nd or 3rd round that isn't an overhyped rookie, because I don't know that there's any surefire quarterbacks in this class.
Right.
And so
just like
I
Drake
think that's the way to do it.
New England. That's what it was.
And,
like New England
and mind
2 years
you,
ago.
Yeah, mind you, he's been doing this without Trey Benson, right? They've got their 4th and 5th running backs back there, Bam Knight and Michael Carter, who wasn't even on the roster for half the season. Like, they have no run game to speak of whatsoever. I mean, they're averaging like under 50 yards a game rushing.
It's ugly.
And it's
really ugly.
So yeah, if I was betting on it, and to that extent, I would. If you're trying to trade for Shedeur, and you're in the playoffs, I mean, I'd be trading for Brissett over Shedeur, hands down. Just because, if Brissett doesn't start for Arizona, I could see him being a bridge quarterback somewhere else as well next year.
Yeah. Fair.
Yeah. All right. So, next up, we've got the one, the only, the possible Hall of Famer, Philip Rivers, making a comeback. Hasn't played since 2020, Matt. What were we doing in 2020? Were we even in any? We weren't even in any leagues together in 2020. So,
Might be true.
This is just insanity. Most recently, Philip Rivers was coaching I'm guessing one of his kids' high school teams. Maybe 3 of his kids were on the team. I don't know. But this is just bonkers. You got Daniel Jones, unfortunately, going down with the Achilles injury last week. Then Riley Leonard comes in because Anthony Richardson's hurt. And still with that eye orbital bone injury where he snapped a stretching band into his eye in warm-ups. So then Riley Leonard comes in and he hurts his knee, and now he's questionable even for Week 15. So we've got Brett Rippon coming in off of the practice squad, or 44-year-old Philip Rivers. Now, I don't expect Rivers to get the start this week, but the Colts are in the heat of a playoff run here, and they've sort of already pushed their chips in here.
Yeah.
If Riley Leonard doesn't start and Brett Rippon looks like crap, Rivers could come in at halftime.
Fair. Very fair. I mean, look, it doesn't. The thing that's going to be tough for him is reacclimating to the speed. I'm sure he can still sling the rock. I have no doubts that he can throw the football.
Sling it or shot put it, however you want to put it. He wasn't
fair. That's
slinging
fair as well.
it necessarily.
But he knows how to throw a
last
football,
year.
but reacclimating to the speed and getting used to things, that's going to take some reps. So, I mean, not a bad, dart throw ad. What if he comes in and has a great game? Who knows?
Well, they do get to start things off with the
and setting the league on fire, namely Joe Flacco.
Right. If they were fortunate enough that the Bengals would let Flacco go somehow, I don't think anybody would let him go through waivers to get to Indy. Like they're the Dolphins are battling to try and get ahead of the Colts. Like they could swoop in and pick him up ahead of the Colts. I don't know that he would make it through waivers to the Colts. But the Colts schedule coming up, they get to travel to Seattle to start things off this week. Didn't work out too well for Max Brosmer 2 weeks ago.
No.
I'm not betting on Brett Rippon here coming in and lighting it up. Then the Colts have the Niners, and then in week 17 their interdivisional foe Jacksonville once again. So rough schedule here for the Colts. All this said, with the quarterback issues, I am not betting on Alec Pierce or Michael Pittman, Tyler Warren for these fantasy playoffs. It's going to be rough sledding. That's all I got to say. I mean, you might be forced to play them, sure, but
yeah, no, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. I mean, the only fantasy asset that I would say you feel comfortable with, regardless of who's taking snaps behind center, is Jonathan Taylor. In fact, he might get more touches in this new.
Well, I'm sure they'll try and get him more touches. That's if the other teams don't put 9 in the box on him.
Fair.
Because
it's going to be tough. He's going to be volume loaded for sure.
Yes. Now, to be fair, the Colts do have a better offensive line than the Vikings do, so I think that bodes well for Rippon, because it won't seem like there's 7 pass rushers like it looked like with Brosmer there. That guy had like 0 time to throw. It was just unfair for that kid.
He had a rough welcoming.
Yeah. But Brett Rippon's a guy. He's been around the league. It's not like it's going to be his first NFL action, right? So wouldn't be totally selling your souls out if you're stuck starting Alec Pierce or Michael Pittman or Tyler Warren, but I would just definitely limit your expectations there. I want to touch on Daniel Jones quick, just because the unfortunate injury to him. It was his opposite leg of the one. So I forget right or left which one, but one of them, his fibula was fractured, and then it's his opposite leg that he tore the Achilles on. Dude, this guy, like, that injury probably just cost this guy $100 million. I mean, he was looking at a Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold type deal, a 3-year, $100 million type contract probably from the Colts or somebody else. But now he's going to get like a 1-year prove
deal,
it.
more than likely, yeah.
Right, and that's dependent on his health. Like an Achilles tear, that doesn't automatically. This was week 14 where he just tore his ACL or his Achilles. There's no guarantee he's ready for week 1 next year. So yeah, very, very unfortunate for Daniel Jones, and the guy was gutting it out, like playing on a broken leg.
Yeah.
And if you saw any of the action, you could see he was just hobbling around.
I'll be honest. I couldn't believe he made it out of the Houston game 2 weeks ago.
Oh, that's it. Me neither. Yeah, I thought he was going to be done for that game. The way Houston threw around Josh Allen the week
Mm-hmm.
before, and now Houston's D, look what they did to Mahomes on Sunday night.
And Rishi Rice.
Awesome, by the way.
Poor Rishi Rice got lit up.
Yeah, that Houston defense, they're for real. If Stroud can just manage the game, I think Houston's got a shot in that AFC. That's the fun part about it. And we can talk about the Eagles Chargers last night. So we had, last year it was the Eagles Chiefs in the Super Bowl, but this year, man, it is wide open in both
Mm-hmm.
conferences. The Eagles losing last night in overtime to the Chargers. That puts them down as I think they fell probably. They're still in the divisional lead, and they're probably going to win their
Right.
division, but
8-5.
they're probably down to the 3 seed now.
Yeah.
So, yes, they'll get one home playoff game, but then have to go on the road if they win that first game.
Mm-hmm.
And the Eagles just kind of look like they did a couple of years ago, where they were falling apart at the end of the season. So I'm not I don't have a whole lot of confidence in the Eagles going into the playoffs right now.
No,
The
their
Rams.
offensive assets just don't
With the
aren't
Rams
instilling
and
confidence.
Seahawks.
That's for sure.
Yeah, with the Rams, Seahawks, and Packers playing the way they are right now, they all give me more confidence, right?
Yeah.
Heading into this stretch
Yeah.
run. And then over in the AFC, like you could talk about the warts on just about every single team that's
Yeah.
in the AFC playoffs right now, top to bottom. And
Yeah.
Houston, that defense travels. So that's a team that nobody wants to go up against in the playoffs.
Yeah, for sure. And look, you mentioned the Packers, so let's talk about another name that's hot. That's probably not on this list. And Christian Watson, come back from injury, and he's operating as the wide receiver 1 in Green Bay.
And they just got Jaden Reed back, so that only can help open things up for Watson. You see here his last few weeks against the Bears, he went 4 for 89 with 2 touchdowns. Against Detroit, 4 for 80 and a touchdown. You can see here 5 touchdowns in the last 4 games.
Yep.
For Watson. So Watson's definitely somebody that I'm firing up here heading into the playoffs. The Packers take on the Broncos this week, though, so not an easy matchup there.
No, not at all.
In Denver. Denver, of course, one of the teams, along with the New England Patriots, sitting up top of the AFC standings. The Patriots get to take on the Bills this week in an interesting matchup. Bills, basically, this is their last shot at winning the division. They could cut the lead to 1 game. I don't know who has the tiebreaker exactly. I don't know who has the better divisional record, because then they would split if the Bills would win. But New England pretty much in the driver's seat for the AFC East title. They control their own destiny. So what are your thoughts there? Are you just feeling good about both quarterbacks heading into this one? Weather dependent? I don't know. I mean, you're playing them.
Yeah, I mean, some of it is, but you said the AFC was just really wide open, and that's kind of how I feel all the matchups are going to be. I don't think you're going to. Right now, Houston could be the best team in the AFC simply because of their defense. Josh Allen's been up and down all year. Lamar Jackson's performances have been up and down all year. So the ones that are supposed to be steady for you aren't so steady. I don't know, man. And the Chiefs might not even make it. It's great.
Oh, the Chiefs are all but dead. Like, they have to win out and have a lot of help.
Lots of help. I mean, do we really think Trevor Lawrence leading the Jacksonville Jaguars are a real Super Bowl team.
Hey, with that defense, that defense can play hot and cold.
Yeah.
If they're hot, that defense can do it for them. Here's the schedule we've got coming forward this week. So the Bucks reeling get to take on the Falcons at home Thursday night for our viewing entertainment. That could be a real ugly one, if I don't say so myself. The way that we played against the Saints, it really. Now, granted, that was a monsoon and for a couple quarters there, and it's a divisional game. I didn't expect us to blow out the Saints, even though most of the nation probably looked at it and saw, oh, the Bucs should blow them out. Those two teams, they always
sneaky good defense. Sneaky good.
The Saints defense is better than you think, and they always play the Bucs tough. Vice versa, the Bucs have gone in and beat the Saints in Week 17 when they were completely out of the playoffs years ago when Breeze was at the helm for the Saints.
Right.
So it's just a good rivalry, and it happens. But Ibuka dropped a touchdown pass. What do you think of Ibuka and Baker right now? Can they snap out of this? I know Mike Evans should be back, not necessarily this week, but maybe the following week. That should help. Are you just starting Ibuka with confidence here, or what are your thoughts?
It depends on where you invested in him, on whether or not you have to start him, right? I don't have high ownership in Ibuka, but I do have. Maybe I do. I've got 30% exposure to him, so it's. Luckily, it's all best. Well, no. I don't know. I'm starting him. I'm very confident.
Yeah, he's still getting the
ability.
targets. That's the key. For me, he's still getting the targets, so you got to play him.
Here's
he dropped
the thing,
a touchdown.
He is touchdown dependent. If you look at his numbers, nothing's really changed much from the targets, and it's just the efficiency and the touchdowns, right? That's the issue. Is if he scores a touchdown, he's probably putting you in a good position. No touchdown, it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
So you really look in where the touchdowns are scored on this defense. But yeah, I still start him with confidence because I feel like most weeks he's probably going to score a touchdown.
Yes.
Yeah,
Another game coming up this week. We've got Baltimore traveling to Cincinnati. Cincinnati definitely on their last leg now after blowing it against the Bills. Burrow on fire in Buffalo, then throws 2 interceptions on back-to-back plays, one of them a pick six, and their season just comes crashing down with that one play, really, or 2 plays, really. But Burrow is hot. Fantasy-wise, you couldn't ask for anything more. He's out there with a chip on his shoulder, playing like everything is on the line, so he's going to try and win. And the Ravens are struggling. Lamar looked a little better. He ran the ball a little bit at least last week. You're back to starting with Lamar with confidence this week, right?
Yeah.
You pretty much have to.
Yeah,
I don't know.
If you spend first round draft capital, you better believe he's starting.
Yeah. Let's see some of the other matchups. Now, T. Higgins is in concussion protocol, so that's something to monitor for you, T. Higgins owners out there.
Do you like the Rams matchup this week?
Yeah, we got the Lions-Rams in a late Sunday afternoon game. That should be exciting fantasy-wise. Packers at Broncos late. And Colts at Seahawks late. Definitely should hope to see some fireworks in that Lions-Rams game.
Yes.
I'd start everybody in that one.
That's going to be a tough game for Detroit with LA's front four. I'm really hoping to see a nice little offensive burst between both teams there. And then also the Vikings-Cowboys matchup on Sunday night.
Yeah, so Vikings Cowboys, you're starting Jamar? You're starting Jefferson there?
Oh, God, I want to. I want to. He's due by law of averages to have a just huge game. Um, I wonder. I wonder if the defense is just going to pay just a little less attention based on where the targets have been shifting and where they're going, and if that's
Hmm.
enough to get him to blow the doors off. Anyone can do
Yeah.
it. It's Jefferson. He just has to get the targets, man.
Yeah, if there's a game for him to break out of this slump, this is it
Yeah.
for sure. And then we're also monitoring CeeDee Lamb's availability in this one. He, of course, suffered the concussion in the third quarter against
Yeah.
the Lions on Thursday night last week.
Got to pick up
So he's
four
got
night.
he's got
Got
three
to pick
extra
him up.
days to recover now. But yeah, if you got Ryan Flanoy, or if you're a CeeDee Lamb owner in a redraft league, definitely you should be adding Flanoy for the
Mhm.
possibility that CD sits this one out, because Flanoy saw over 10 targets,
Yep.
almost had 10 catches after
CD went
after
down.
Lamb left, and then Pickens. I mean, you're starting George Pickens because he can bounce back here. I don't. I heard the rumor is now that he was a little sick and under the weather. He was playing through that.
Hmm.
I don't know if they're just making excuses for him, but I gotta feel that he bounces back here in a big
Yeah.
way in the prime time slot.
I think he's actually
So,
happy in Dallas too. I think he's happy to play football again.
oh yeah, his best scenario is to stay in Dallas with Dak slinging him the ball and
Oh
CD
yeah.
opposite with the coverage. I mean, you saw what happened. The Lions were literally double teaming him every play,
Yep.
and that's what left Illinois wide open
Yeah.
over the middle.
Quite
Um,
literally wide open. No one within
Literally,
10 yards
yes.
of him.
Like Dak
So
had no other choice but to sling it to him.
right?
So yeah, I mean, you're still starting Pickens just because of the boom potential. There's no way I'm benching
Yeah.
him the
You're
way he's
starting
performed this
Ferguson,
year.
CD if he's healthy. You're starting him. You're starting Dak. You're starting Javante Williams. You know.
Yeah,
Um,
that's a game. Yeah, you're getting everybody in that you can that you've got there.
yep.
I would feel decent about starting Addison there, Hawkinson even.
Yep.
Those are some
Start them all.
names that
Start
haven't
Jordan Mason.
performed
He's
that
starting to
well.
look good again. Jordan Mason's
Yeah,
looking good with the touches he's getting. And Aaron Jones, if he's healthy and good to go, will always be a threat out of the backfield to catch passes. So if you're in PPR
yeah,
formats, Jones still has value, just a little bit deeper value. So
yes. So make sure you've hit the like and subscribe if you haven't already. Um, we're gonna get things wrapped up here, but before we go, I just want to ask you, Matt, is there any advice you want to give some people as far as trading goes at the end of this season? Now, some of our leagues, like we mentioned, we have no trade deadline. Um, are you going to hold and wait maybe for the playoffs to move on an extra round for some of your players to maybe increase in value, or are you just scooping up the value if you can right now? I'm talking somebody like Jalen Wright, right?
yeah,
You're selling him right now because Achan may or may not even play this week. He
yeah,
might still play, right?
yeah. If you
But
have him, you know,
what about somebody like Blake Corum, okay, who just ripped off 128 yards and two
hmm
touchdowns in a blowout, mind you? So he has been getting looks.
hmm
Kyron Williams is the guy in that he's the one being paid. Are you selling off Blake Corum now in the fantasy playoffs, or is that somebody that you would hold? Because he's pretty hot right now, and he
yeah. I
in
guess
redraft that he's available, everybody's going to grab him.
yeah. If depending on where I am with my roster, if I'm right at the end of my rebuild, I'll probably hold him. You know, if I'm just starting a rebuild and he just happens to be a young piece I have, I probably try to get max value out of him. Because I mean, honestly, and I know we've discussed this and said it a million times. The running back's the last piece you add to your contender, and so
Yeah.
I'd hate to just lose that value sitting on my team that's not going anywhere. So yeah, I
What
think
are you? I mean, what are you realistically getting for Blake Corum? A second? I mean,
yeah,
that's what you use. You drafted him with a second rounder.
Maybe,
I mean,
yeah. Yeah, if you can get back a future second or what you would consider a good second round pick this year, I'd sell it.
yeah, I think the way to use them would be to try and package them with another one of your contending pieces, maybe somebody
Yeah,
scoring
true.
points as well, to try and finagle a first somehow out of somebody,
Yeah,
out of get a playoff first off of somebody by giving them quorum and another point scoring piece. That's the angle I would take, at least. I don't know if
yeah,
it's possible in your league or not, so all depends. It's league dependent, of course, the trade values that are available to you. But yeah, I wouldn't be so trigger happy on him either to just get rid of him, because going forward, who knows? I mean, I'm not saying he's going to overtake Kyron Williams per
no,
se, but he has looked good.
yeah.
And if Kyron were to go down, like Blake Corum is to the ceiling there. All right.
From a volume standpoint, yeah. I mean, this is
For
all by
sure.
design. They wanted Blake Corum more involved to keep Kyron fresh, is what they say
Yes.
anyway. So,
Yes.
um, yeah,
All right. Well, that's about all we've got for you today. We just wanted to give you the opportunity to throw some comments down with any of your questions heading into this ever important week 15 of the fantasy season, first week of the playoffs for the majority of your teams. I don't know anything else to add. I want to wish everybody good luck in their playoffs. Matt, anything you want to add quick?
work your waiver wires to your advantage. That is the difference in close playoff wins and losses. Absolutely.
Yes. It's win or go home now, so you can spend all the fab that you need and not feel bad about it one bit. Don't sit
Yep.
and try and get cute and save it, because it might not be there
That's
next
right.
week.
And look, my point about selling on Corum while the value's high is, or like wait until the next round of the playoffs. If you look at Zach Ertz, if you could have sold him last week, he's done. You can't sell that dude anymore. He's too damn old,
Nope.
and his career's probably done. You know.
Yep.
But last week you could have sold him for a second, maybe. You know.
Sure.
Now
For
dead.
some desperate tight end team. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So
All right. Well, thanks for joining us today. Enjoy your waiver wire run and go out there and win your playoff matchup this week. Remember,
that's it, baby.
never stop working.
Not working.